former one-time governor of Lagos State, Alhaji Lateef Jakonde, could build low-cost housing. There's nothing wrong in building low-cost shops, low-cost stores, you know. And once those ones are done beyond the vocational centers, you know, you will have this caliber of people also having money to use those stores. But you see, of recent, not only on this present government, you find out that markets are being built in a very big way, you know, ultra-modern market. There's nothing wrong in building ultra-modern market, but you should also consider every level and every strata of the society. And so I'm advocating today through this avenue that the state of excellence should do everything humanly possible to be excellent in every endeavor, to make sure that the citizens who are always out there to do the needful when it comes to electioneering period are also being considered. An injury to one is an injury to all. And so the government should please do the needful. Beyond arresting these people, there's an appeal I'm making this morning. Beyond arresting them, beyond seizing their wealth and all those things, we must make sure that we look into that aspect of building mini, you know, local stores, you know, and once that is done, I think the government will have legitimacy of carrying out enforcement and at the right time. And I also want to call on the enforcers of those laws too. Sometimes they are overzealous. They are overzealous, and it is the overzealousness that most of us condemn, you know.
Not just the overzealousness, what about the fact that they also extort money from
well, I am not aware of that. If I'm aware as a right activist, I will fight it to the latter. I will do the needful. I'll make sure I get to the right authority to demand for such for reasons why people should be extorted. It's against the law. And
okay, I'm telling you on good authority that they do that. It's just unfortunate that the lady they did it to, there's a particular lady that always sells jewelry to me. She just called me and said, you know, should the kick against indiscipline, seize their goods and all of that, I should help her. She doesn't have money. She's been calling people to help her so that she can get her goods back. And I asked her, I said, who are the officials? Do you have the name so that I can actually investigate this and get the person? But she was afraid. She started begging. You know, they are always too timid. They are afraid because they just feel that, okay, this is their own source of this is where they make their source of income, and so because of that they don't want anything such that they don't eventually you know, peg them to be the one that brought, you know, security agents around to destroy them.
I appreciate what you're saying. We're in a national TV, and I want to assure you that every infraction of the law also always have its consequence. So if there are people within agencies whose function or whose duty there is to extort people, you know, thereby painting the government bad, I think such people should be exposed. Citizens should be strong and courageous enough to name and shame those agents. I've had reason to have helped people in the past, not in Lagos State, somewhere outside Lagos State, you know, and they were contravened by an agency of the state, and that they don't have a particular sticker and all those things. And when I stopped and inquired, I found out that there was no need for such inquiry, and I found out that it was mere way to extort such a person, and I intervened and the person was let go. So we must be courageous enough to report or to get to the necessary quarters to correct those anomalies. But most of the time our people are timid. Our people are like, oh, let it go, it's the will of God. And that is what we are facing in this country today. Bad policies will come and we'll say, oh, God will do it while we're suffering and smiling. And it shouldn't be that way. It is time people rise up and ask for what they desire, for what they need, okay, so that at the end of it all, it will not appear as if, oh, the government is bad. The government is bad because you refuse to do the needful. You play your part, I play my part. If such person has reported to you formally and you have taken it up and the necessary agency hasn't done the needful, we can come out and say, yes, Mrs. A was extorted and we reported to you. What did you do? All right. But at this point in time, I want to appeal to such person you said complained. If she has enough evidence, please let her come out and walk to the necessary office. If they can't, please get people like us in touch. Then we'll lead her there and the needful will be done. I'm not going to be here and say it is not possible that can't extort. It's something that happens. Yeah, in every organization, you have bad eggs.
Sure.
Out of 12, you have one Judas. Okay, so but it's a dangerous thing when you have so many Judases in an agency that represents a state of excellence.
Okay, Comrade Declan, let me hold you on your question. I don't know if we have a security expert to join us now, if his audio is good. Okay, well, in the course of the program, if we have a good audio, then we'll definitely speak with him. So
Now, Comrade, this ban is going to make a lot of people redundant. What will be the potential impact on law enforcement?
I didn't get that.
Banning the street traders will make a lot of people redundant. They don't have a means of livelihood. What is this? What will be the potential impact on law enforcement?
Yeah, I want to see it clearly that that you are being stopped from doing something that the law prohibits should not force you to engage into criminality. Rather, I should give you a second thought of having a rethink of what alternative do I have. I think that's the best way to go. The best way to go is not to say, oh, because I was arrested as a street trader and now I don't have other means. I want to go into robbery, I want to go into kidnapping, I want to go into so many other crimes. That's not the way to go. All right, but there will be so much, there's no doubt there will be so much burden on the law enforcement agencies because one, it will end up increasing the number of crimes in the society. And so that's why I said why the people are doing their own, the government should also come to the need of the people by making sure we balance issues. The governments are there to make sure the citizens are protected and well protected. And so the government should also do the needful. But I can assure you, as a right activist who has paid my due in this nation, that the government of Lagos State is doing its best. Most of the things that have been accommodated in Lagos State have not been accommodated elsewhere. I'm aware that laws are made that Okada should not apply certain areas in the state, but today, well, you still find them. You still find them there. And I've made my point clear that why they are operating is because there's an unholy alliance between the unions that takes money from them and some security agencies. And I'm sure the government will really look into that because it's going to be a slap on the state of the government, on the state government, that you have made a law and those laws have not been obeyed. Why are they not being obeyed? And if it comes to that level, it makes the state or the government a toothless bulldog. I mean, we will not get to that level of becoming a toothless bulldog, making us lawlessness.
Okay.
We will not get to that level.
Okay, Comrade Declan, I'm aware and I have seen the recent situation where some of these street traders are being used to buy producers of inferior fake products. We have seen bottled water that you expect that it is is pure, you know, but you find out that this table water, you cannot even, you can't be certain that they are from the producers of that product. So fake producers, the producers of fake or inferior products use some of this street trading. Are you perturbed about this, and what do you think government should actually do in this regard?
Yeah, it's part of why some of us backed up the stoppage of street trading. I've fallen victim not once, not twice. Yeah, I've bought things on the traffic, you know, and I regretted ever doing such. I've bought a charger once, and as soon as I plugged it, the guy is gone.
I think I've heard stories of so many people.
The guy is gone.
Full charges.
I couldn't find the guy again. I've had calls where I bought a table telephone, you know, and I go home, it was not functioning. Who do I approach? Nobody.
And that's the danger of buying.
You understand? That's the danger. It's one of those things. It's one of those dangers. All right. I've had calls where I bought something and I was so foolish that I gave money without taking my change. And before I knew it, other vehicles were horning. Will I drop my car there and start running after such a person? So that's why I said that we should also understand why government takes certain decisions. A market where you cannot hold anybody accountable, it's not a good one. I've found somebody who bought a fire extinguisher on the traffic, and within some meters he noticed that his car was smoking. And he brought out the fire extinguisher. It was not functioning. And most of those, at times you will not be able to check the expiring date and all those things. You can't.
I've even had cost to buy juice, and at the end of the day, I go home, just dropped it in the provision box, and then 2 days after I went there, you can't believe that it was leaking. It's expired.
So that's it. So sometimes we don't need to blame the government, but we're saying that the government should also balance it.
Exactly
It,
the advocacy this morning. Well, Comrade Declan, this is where we'll leave the discussion. Many thanks for coming in U45 Morning Show. We hope we'll call you again. You're obliged.
Thank you so much.
All right, viewers, we've been speaking with Comrade Declan Iyekare. He is an activist, a veteran activist for that matter. And of course, the topic of discussion this morning is closure of markets in Lagos State and the ban on street trading, which we've been able to look at critically. The dangers inherent in you as an individual also patronizing these street traders, and also else reasons why would market women and men trade in a very dirty environment. You have to know that you subject those who are not or passers-by to health challenge, and we don't want to have a situation in our hand. But then again, we're also saying that our government also taking tax, and you're there for the people. You still must provide alternative for these people. I mean, you don't just shut the market. When you shut the market and you demand for a fine, it also behoves on you to do the needful, which is ensuring that your agencies also do what is expected of them. Say, for instance, Loma is being paid. If you're paid, go there regularly to ensure that you also clear these debts, so we don't have a situation at hand. Well, this is what we'll put it with this discussion. We'll take a short break, and when we return, it will be time for our sports team to join us. Stay with us.
What up, guys? How's your day going? How are you doing this? I want to believe that you're having fun, right? This bright and sunny day. You know that once you see this duo on your TV screen, we're here to serve you some entertainment.
And of course, entertaining gist coupled with good music won't hurt anybody, right? So here on Super Lunch, we get to entertain you, educate you on recent happenings in the world of entertainment. I am your girl, Eva Grace.
And I am Shegun Delala Adeyemi, the Duke of your airwaves. You know how it is. We serve you good entertainment Mondays all through to Fridays. And that's how we do. We'll take you on a smooth ride of entertainment. So don't go nowhere. Join us every Mondays to Fridays. We love you guys.
Welcome to Naija Plus. Make you not touch that there, make your finger for no. Wetin be your plan for your country, and wetin you sef want make your country do for you. You need to give something before you take something. Now the only way matter fit balance. No be say fowl no plan to fly you, but the power no carry am. As matter dey shele for inside Naija, make you sef chook your mouth, make we build our country. No be every time we go talk things bad. Come out for that corner before mosquito bite your tortoise. Oya, e get as e happen for your area, and you want make plenty eye see and make you hear and make you for reach authority. You get video of the scene? Send am sharp sharp. Before I forget, now top super screen with there, and my name now Mr. Peace. That MC with a biggie swag. Naija na for everybody. Make you not touch that there, make your finger for no.
There's no place for pretense. I can't watch you stand. Oh no.
Water
pọ̀ lẹ́nu ó dùn lẹ́nu bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó ta lẹ́nu ó pọ̀ lẹ́nu ó dùn lẹ́nu Yusuf Mọ́rúnsọ́lá ní orúkọ ti tèmi Funky ọmọ ẹ̀lẹ̀ tó gbásìkì tó dùn tó kí tó yí gbogbo ẹ pàdé mi ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Thursday 8:30 to 9:30 àti gbogbo ọjọ́ Saturday 1 to 2 fún ètò tó ga jù ẹ má miss ẹ ó ga jù lẹ́tọ̀ ẹ pàdé mi ó ṣàfàfà.
lẹ́nu ọkọ̀ lẹ́nu odò lẹ́nu kámọ́tà cannot do.
Family ties, a thorn in the flesh.
We need to remove him, otherwise we are going to be in trouble. You must kill him today, not tomorrow. Today!
There's a handsome prize on your head. And if you can top it, you walk free.
She's even awake. She's awake?
Will you stop that? And don't you dare repeat that again. What is she doing? I don't know.
My son is nowhere to be found and you asked me to relax. I can't.
So we're not going to eat?
You have to eat. Look at you. So you actually want to eat that food?
The way this food is smelling, I think it's really going to be delicious.
Oh, my son! Oh, my son!
What are you doing here?
I will not let you send her out.
She's your rival, you know.
I know she's your wife, and I know it's not right for you to treat her like that.
You heard me. Send yourself out before I come back to this house.
High Chief Major General James. Good evening.
What is good about this evening? Huh?
What happened now?
Don't mind them. You're not going anywhere. You stay.
Please. Please. What are you doing out of bed?
I needed a drink.
You could have called me.
I'm not the father of a thief. And that is what your son is. A thief. Stole the document to my house and sold it. And I swear, he's going to rot in jail.
It's okay, baby.
It's not okay.
Hello? Hello?
Family ties, a thorn in the flesh.
Now, because they fight all of them, it is always good to live in peace with our neighbor.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
Yay! 25 years.
When people from different backgrounds live together, there is bound to be disputes of boundaries, shared amenities. Your favorite TV comedy drama is now wearing a new look as Face to Face rebranded.
Hi, Ajani.
Yes, sir.
There is problem in the house. Your brother wife, the carry man, come house.
Lie. It no go happen. My brother wife. See, now me supposed to inherit that woman. No.
Baby Julius.
Baby
Julius. Baby.
Wait. Wait. I've been expecting this. I've been expecting this.
Starring your favorite star actors, Face to Face rebranded.
Mama Shile, if you don't get this your rubbish off my precious baby now, I will throw it away.
Reach to the sky, ladies and gentlemen.
Demand attitude.
I am Salahuddin.
Demand excitement. Demand action.
Some school of thoughts believe Well, it's good to have you join us. You're still watching U45 Morning Show on Super Screen Television. Yes, we told you earlier the discussion was about the market closure and the ban on street trading in Lagos State, which has been generating reactions from different quarters. And of course, we have the guest, Comrade Declan Yekare, who spoke extensively on what our government should do and on the part of the people and the traders what should be done. Let me also state here that we're supposed to have a security expert, a barrister Wilson Esangbado, to help us look at the security implication of this ban. We'll bring you that tomorrow, not to worry. So right about now, Sporting Joel Unwakigo is ready to tell us what is happening in the world of sports. Joel, good morning.
Good morning, viewers. You're welcome to U45 Morning Show with Sports Train. I mean, a lot of stuff happened in the world of sports, and one of the latest is you have the 2024 qualifiers for the Olympics. The ladies are right there in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, getting set for the match that comes up tomorrow. But funny enough, it's just 6 players and 8 officials. I wonder what's happening. Another player is expected in camp.
Well, I don't know what's happening. Maybe because of the league games that are ongoing, But hopefully, I'm sure some of the ladies will join camp today.
Yeah, exactly. The likes of Azato Shuala and other players will join the rest of the home-based players.
Yeah, Rashidat Ajibade and others. I'm sure they'll be able to catch up with the team.
And it's good to know you had just a late call-up, Sebastian Flourish. She was part of the team. She just left just a couple of hours ago just to join the other ladies in camp.
Yeah, that's a good one for her, and hope she'll be able to prove herself in that team.
Yeah, we're talking about some players that are left out. You have the likes of Plumtree, the lady that plays for Leicester, and also Onome Ebi. She's 40 years old. She has been asked to quit the national team, but she said, "You can't force me to retire."
But at 40, I think the right thing for her to do is to actually retire. I remember a particular player at a point in time that retired from football at the age of 30, was it 32?
Yeah, we talked about him a few years ago, Eden Hazard.
Yeah. So why would she be saying she doesn't want to quit at 40?
Well,
I think on the part of
to pave way for younger players.
Well, for me, I think for Eden Hazard, it was a different ball game. Eden Hazard, towards the end of his career, his career was plagued with lots of injuries, and so as not to worsen the situation. I'm sure maybe that was why I decided to call it quit. But for Onome, I think she has been consistent. She has been blessed, just like Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo is 38 and he's still playing good football. What's his name? Zlatan. Zlatan played until he was 41.
And also you had a Rivaldo that played until 48.
You understand? While the Jamila that went to the World Cup, as an old man. So maybe Onome still, if she feels, for me, if she feels that she still has it up her sleeves to give, let her continue.
Well, then again, you can also find out that it's possible that she has stepped on some toes, who now feel that might be a punishment for her. People who are
I wouldn't want to believe that.
So really, if she's still interested and she's still playing well, why wouldn't they allow her to do it?
Well, just a couple of 2 weeks ago, you had a player, Okwaranoze. She retired at age
Desire Okwaranoze.
Yeah,
it's a choice.
Yeah, she retired at age 29.
Retirement is a choice. It's a choice. It's possible she wanted to do other things.
So why
she might have had it all planned out from the beginning, that by 29 I want to retire doing this particular sport. I want to go into business or something. So it's an individual.
All the money and all that.
It's an individual's choice.
Yeah, but a certain Ronaldo once said that as long as my body can carry me and my spirit, I should keep playing.
So that answers that.
So the case of
it's a different ballgame right now, like you said. The female and the male is different. A guy can play up to 50 because as we speak, the oldest footballer still playing is about 53.
Is 53.
Second division.
But you can't. One thing you have to realize is that you can't compare the body of a man, the system, to that of a lady. So many things. You guys, in most cases, when you're slim, you're very light.
Okay.
Unlike a woman, even if you are slim, you should have heavy loads. Disturbing you, if you understand what I mean.
Okay.
So you cannot compare both parties. So
now, let me take you on this. What is the right age for a female to retire in active sport, regardless of the sport? Football?
I think that should be dependent on how active the lady is. It might be, but I feel that it should actually be 45.
45. So you're telling them to keep playing.
Well,
45 is a lot. Now, okay.
No, it depends on how active the individual is. You see, you can't compare how our system functions.
Yeah, it varies from
so some people,
individual to
you
individual.
find people that are developing different sickness as early as they're 30. 32. So and you have some people at 45, they're still very vibrant. You see them, you're still thinking that they are 20 plus. So if you are that kind of individual and you're active and it is evident, everybody see that you're playing excellent football, but why not?
And even in recent past, we've seen where athletes, and
don't also forget the place of experience.
Yeah.
The experience she has been able to garner over the years.
We should not be
always
quick.
Work for the team.
True. We should not be quick to force her to retire. Okay. We need her experience. We have a lot of younger players coming on board.
Which will tutor.
Our experience is needed right now. Apart from Onome, I don't think there's any player in that team that is in her 30s. You see? So that's what we're talking about. So we need her experience. She can be there. She doesn't need to play regularly. Come in, close shop for the team when they are leading. Our experience is needed for me.
But I feel in recent time we've seen where athletes, stop by the wayside. They give back to kids and they come back, still be active.
So what are we talking about? What about Williams?
Williams.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, she went put to bed and she's still very active. So what are we talking about? So it comes down to what I said earlier. How active are you? Yeah. As long as you feel you're active and you can still push on, they should allow them explore.
Okay. Anyway, talking about exploration, we have a lot of some of the ladies in the team had injuries. We have the likes of Christy Uchebe that plays in Portugal, Regina Otu, and Osinachi. They are injured, and these are key players in the Falcons team. I mean, don't you think it's going to affect the game tomorrow?
Of course, that's a minus. So that's definitely going to be a minus for them.
They will be greatly missed, but I think with or without them, Nigeria should be able to.
I think that's the reason why they had to include some few home-based players.
Yes, I think we should be able to pull through with Ethiopia. Ethiopia is not a threat to Nigerian football.
Is that what you think?
Yes.
If we're playing in South Africa, are you very confident?
If we're playing in South Africa, if we're playing Ghana, Cameroon, then I may have some issues. But not Ethiopia.
But you know that football sometimes it can be quite unpredictable.
Absolutely, I agree. But for women football, it is still predictable in Africa.
9-time champion, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's good to know we have the basketball league coming up soon enough, and 26 club Chase Laurels as MBBF kicks off the Premier League, and in 4 cities, Lafia, Ibadan, Abuja, and Lagos. I don't know, basketball is really coming up. You have a lot of teams, just live for just Laurel, and the team that wins this tournament will represent Nigeria in the African Basketball League.
I love the way attention is being given to basketball. This is what we've been talking about here in Super Screen Television, that apart from football, other sports should be looked into. The sport ministry should throw their weights, corporate bodies should throw their weights and their sponsorship into other sports, and we see what is happening with basketball, and that's kudos to them. Now I think the governor's I think Governor Obaseki's wife
started in football, the best Obaseki Cup.
Exactly.
That's football.
I think they started yesterday. I saw a clip where they started yesterday. So this is good for the basketball, and I hope that all of this spread to other sports in the nation.
A lot of people believe you have to be tall, like 6 feet plus to play basketball. Do you believe that?
Of course, now you know that this is part of the requirements for you to play football. It's like you say
basketball.
To play basketball. Beg your pardon. I'm talking about basketball. You need height. In terms of how do you use what language do you use?
You dunk.
You dunk. You understand. So you need to be tall. So for me, I think height is very important when it comes to basketball. You will see in most homes, even in schools, when you see a lady tall, slim, the next thing you say, well, do you do any sports? She says, is it football? So why not try basketball? Because that height is a plus for any individual.
Well, your height is a plus. Why did you do basketball?
Well, I think I choose broadcasting. I love to talk.
I agree with her. Basketball is a sport of
and I'm not even as tall as the height that is
basketballer.
So, but in the NBA, they had a player, I think Iverson. Iverson was 5'9".
That's where I'm going to now. Basketball is a game of height, but it's also a game of technique.
Yeah.
It's just like saying football is a game of height. It's not true. We have seen some of the best players, you know, being average 5'9", you know,
Yeah.
thereabout. So I think basketball is also a game of technique.
Yeah.
We have some really gifted and technically sound basketball players, and they have done well. So the height is actually an advantage, but it's not the only requirement.
So you might have the technique to play, but you don't have the height. So now, but what about nutrition? It plays a key part
Exactly.
when the kid is growing. So you have to make sure you get the proper nutrition. So
Absolutely.
yeah, you can play.
I quite agree. Yes, I quite
Exactly.
agree that there are different kind of food that can also aid your growth. And this is what parents should know, and that's why they talk about balanced diet. You need all of these things so that your children can grow the appropriate way.
It has really been a setback for a lot of our athletes not getting the proper nutrition. You see them,
But you know one thing here, you see what? Let me just be truthful with you. In Africa, basically, we are not used to, the right nutrition.
Okay.
Basically, our balanced diet sometimes is missing. I don't know, maybe because of the economic situation, but even from homes growing up. I mean, you watch international community, you see them want to eat your fruits. It's a must that you have fruits, that you have juice, milk and what have you. But how many homes do you see do that? And so this is how these people grow from homes. That's why they say the problem of society starts from individual's home. It is a family thing, then it trickles down. So if parents actually do that from the beginning, the child is aware that if you want to eat, you have your milk, you have your fruits, you have this, you take a fruit first and all that. Just few homes that are very comfortable are the ones doing that. And where do you even see most of these players coming from? Most times they come from poor homes where the parents can hardly feed. So it's just for you to be able to have a little money to put your rice. Even some of them don't even take a protein. They don't take protein. So what are we talking about?
And I tell you what, now over the years, the Kenyans, the Senegalese, and the Ethiopians, they're known for long distance run. And sometimes a lot of people talk about what they eat, a lot of iron, few carbs, and all that, and they've been dominating. They're not, they don't have the best of proteins and everything, but I mean, they come out tops in long distance races and all that.
Now, another thing to consider apart from good nutrition, which a lot of African families cannot afford due to the economic situation. Let's be truthful. It is expensive to eat well. It is.
Absolutely.
It is expensive to eat well. Now, there's also the place of genetics, which I think some of these Kenyans and other African, Sudan, there's a place in Sudan called the Dinka. Those people are usually 7 feet tall. So that's genetic.
Or the Maasai.
Yes. So these are the genes has a lot to do with how these people also perform.
Anyway, away from that, it's good to know that you have a posthumous birthday, Rashidi Yekini. Yeah, he was 60 just yesterday. And,
wow.
Google,
beautiful.
Google online, I tried to celebrate Yekini. They made something like a doodle of scoring that goal and all that. This is somebody that represented Nigeria. Scored the first goal, the iconic celebration, and the way his demise was not.
Joel, I want to ask: do we have a monument?
We don't.
Do we have a day for Rashidi Yekini?
We don't have.
I mean, currently he's still the highest goal scorer in Nigeria.
After playing about 673 games, career games, and scoring 483 goals.
I'm not even sure the sports ministry is even remembering these or even thinking of
if you ask a kid on the street that was born probably in the 2000s, ask him about
if you ask me about Nigerian football, really, one name that comes to mind anytime, I remember the likes of Rashidi Yekini, Finidi George, and Mokachi, because that team was very strong then, and I know they brought us the
Cup of Nations,
exactly. So we cannot forget him. I remember how the guy is always scoring goals. Before you hear Rashidi Yekini is a goal.
Rashidi is a poacher.
And it's unfortunate how he died. Really, it's unfortunate because I knew he died not getting attention, support from anybody. Basically, say that he dies as a pauper. He was looking for money to take care of his health, and I think this should not be. And I think it's high time that the government of Nigeria, try to encourage those people for the players that have played and they have retired. There should be something being done for them. And what you also want to argue is we have government officials. Should it always be about the politicians? Should it always be about politicians? As a governor, as a former governor, you are entitled to basic
certain allowances and benefits,
to
even
keep
after
you
retirement.
Going.
Yeah.
They give you cars, they still give you, I think, wardrobe and all of that. So why can't this be replicated in the areas of sports? People who are doing Nigeria proud, not just even in sports, in every sector, in such a way that you encourage young ones to come into that particular industry. You understand? Same as acting, the film industry, even what are we even talking about? Even the broadcast industry. You see, it's funny how our government is not being proactive. They are not planning ahead for its people, and you'll find that professions might just die just like that because there is no form of encouragement for those who have practiced.
I'll tell you what, Rashidi Yekini was one of those players that dominated African clubs and went to Europe, and he had his greatest stint in Victoria Setúbal. And I tell you what, right there, out there in Portugal, whenever they get to that particular day, they have set aside for Rashidi Yekini.
You see, I love the whites. I love the whites for something. They know how to celebrate. They know how to celebrate. I know the daughter of, she used to be a friend of mine before she relocated to Spain. The daughter of Wilfred Agbonabari.
The goalkeeper, yeah.
Exactly. It was a goalkeeper at a Spanish club. Until tomorrow, they still remember him.
Exactly.
This is not a Spanish citizen. He's a Nigerian. But they still celebrate and remember him. We don't do that for our players. They should be over the weekend. England lost Sir Bobby Charlton. Before his demise, they already had a monument for him. He was
out there, outside Manchester United.
Exactly.
There were actually 3 of them.
He was already being celebrated while he was alive, not just when he died. Rashidi Yekini has been dead. No remembrance. He's not being talked about. It's unfair. Let's be truthful. It's unfair. There should be a day set aside for Rashidi Yekini in this country. This was a man that started from Africa before going to Europe, and the records are out there for him, smashing.
There was a story of a Nigerian player that got a contract in a club in Belgium, and he was taken to the gallery. The club, they have like a gallery where you have old past players and all that, old players, and it was shown Amokachi's picture, and he was told, this guy was one of our best players. I hope you can perform like, and if you don't, you leave. We don't have a gallery where you can go and see old players, their pictures, read about them and all that. Because I'm very sure if you go to the street of Lagos and ask some kids about who Rashidi Yekini is, they don't know. Thank God you have like internet to go online and see who these players were. It's really, really sad.
It's very sad, and I think that this is also a clarion call on the sports ministry to begin to celebrate these players while they are alive, so that it serves as an encouragement for young ones who also want to get themselves into this very sports. And again, also, I think the sports presenters, report journalists are also not doing enough. We need to write more, to call the attention of government to the need for them to celebrate these players, do something meaningful for them when they're alive, give them allowances even when they retire. This way they will be encouraged to give their best when going to represent Nigeria. And that's why you see lots of Nigerians now, they are being bought over. You see them playing for all of these English Premier clubs and what have you, because they are not proud to play for Nigeria, because the stories they hear from those who are playing is not a sweet story. So why would they want to say they want to come? Please, I think it's just high time the right thing is being done.
Apart from the right thing being done, I think the sport ministry has a key role to play in this, because it starts from there. What about the federation, the football federation? Now you had a certain Okwaraji that died almost 30 years now. We had a statue of Amokachi out there in
Okwaraji at the National Stadium.
Formerly it was big, but I don't know what happened. It got stripped. I don't know what really happened to that stadium. Anything should be named after these people. Stadiums, streets and all that. What happened to the families of Rashidi Yekini? You don't know what's happening.
That's another thing. We are even talking about the player himself, not to even talk about his family members. Because is it not when a player is even celebrated that once you know that a family member of yours has been picked to play for Nigeria, you will all celebrate because you know that whatever he gets is extended to you people as extended family members. But when the player itself retires and the government is not even looking at his or her side, how do you not expect the families to encourage their children or what, or family members to come into the game?
The worst I saw was he was a Muslim. and it was buried in the Muslim way. On his tombstone, you had the ball you buy in the market for 1,500, being, you know, just out there, just right there on his head side. It's really sad.
See, let's see, we can continue to talk about this again and again. Ask yourself, the National Stadium till now, is this something to write home about? I remember when Sunday Dari came in as the sport minister, he promised that that place will be renovated and all of that. Till now, it is still the same. Even when they went and demolished some structures in there, they left it worse than it was. Exactly. So what are we saying? It tells us, you know, it says a lot about the kind of people we are and how the kind of importance we place on important things. If the stadium is like that, it's like in an abandoned state. Exactly. Nothing is being done. You see, you begin to ask yourself, is it that government is blind not to see this, and you expect people not to talk? It's not possible. I think this is a clear call on government. Something needs to be done about that stadium. It does not represent Nigeria. Exactly. How would you expect players to do well?
And now you're talking about hosting major events like the AFCON. How can we host the AFCON having such an edifice?
I think it's a deliberate effort by the players. Sometimes they don't want to get themselves injured. They don't want to give their all like that, because for those who have given their all, what has become of them?
Imagine the female under-20 players, the Flamingos, trekking from point A to point B because the bus had a problem. So they have to trek over 5 kilometers.
You can imagine. You can imagine.
That's the national team.
It's ridiculous.
It's really, ridiculous.
This is a call on the sport ministry and on the government to please do more for our sports.
Are you sure they want to do more for our sports?
I mean, they have to do more.
It's a must.
They have to. This is why they are there.
They said to whom much is given, much is expected. If you're expecting so much from your players, then it means that you have to give your players the best, if not the best, something close to it, in such a way that they will know that indeed this government is interested in them, not just because of the victory they will bring home, because if you do them well, they will definitely bring the victory.
The last time Victor Osimhen came to play for the friendly game, he picked up an injury. Exactly. That's what we're talking about. Players have come to represent the country, and then they pick up injuries, go back to their clubs.
And neglected.
You had a player called Gloria Fuebu. She represented Nigeria in the under-20s. She was injured. She had a fracture. She was abandoned in the hospital. Okay. As we speak, she will tell you, I don't even know who paid for that treatment. And it wasn't the NFF. She was abandoned in the hospital. They left her there. You can imagine.
This is why European clubs don't allow some of their African players to come represent their country. This is it. This is the reason.
Just recently, the Minister of Sport, John Eno, had a visit to Ajegule area where you have the Maracana Stadium. The old Maracana was refurbished by Yemi Idowu. He has a foundation called Nathaniel Idowu Foundation, alongside the what's it called now, the chairman of Ajegule for the local government, the person of Fatai Ayola. You need to see what they did there. Fantastic.
That's an individual.
It was in 19 pitches right there in Ajegule. And I tell you what, Ajegule guys, the kids, they're enjoying Ajegule as we speak.
This is what we're talking about. But again, does it have to be the individuals? What's the sport ministry doing? We're talking about what Amaju Pinnick did, in his home. He could have done that while he was a sport minister. You understand? So that's what we're talking about. We shouldn't wait for individuals alone. I mean, kudos to the guys who did this job. Yeah. Fantastic for grassroots football. The guys in Ajegule, I'm sure they are super excited. We need more of this from the government. I mean, all of these allocations and mega monies, where are they going into?
Okay, well, that question, if you ask me, then I will say, we should have asked. The truth of the matter is, if you continue to wait on government, imagine what is being done at the grassroots by what did you the individual you mentioned. If it was not given the go ahead, like for him to do that, we will not be celebrating them. Look at how amazing. Look at how amazing, how beautiful the stadium is. If an individual can do this, you begin to ask yourself, what is government looking at? It's just the same story of we talking about fuel in Nigeria, the hike in fuel price. You find out that an individual, Dangote, is able to establish a refinery, and you begin to wonder what is really wrong with the government. Government that is more than one, more than two, more than three. I mean, the number is countless, and you mean purposely you've been there, and the refineries cannot be refurbished. I mean, it's. Before
the last Olympic in Japan, the previous Olympic, Nigeria spent 2 billion in preparation for just 7 events.
That's all we hear.
Fraud.
That is all we hear.
It's criminal.
That is all we hear.
It's criminal.
You hear big funds being earmarked for certain projects, and at the end of the day, when you see the outcome, it is not in tandem with the money being earmarked. So it's all about corruption.
Even Mikelobi said at some point that he's just surprised that when he sees the quotation for his flight ticket to and fro, about $50,000, from England to Nigeria. I wonder why it's stuff like that keep happening.
Where is he going to?
I don't understand. They keep, over invoicing.
Exactly.
And nothing is being done. So for God's sake, I think it's time you employ the character of zero tolerance. People should be held accountable.
Zero tolerance for corruption in Nigeria. I hope that they will come, then we'll be able to smile that indeed this is Nigeria of our dreams. Well, viewers, this is where we will wrap it up on U45 Morning Show. Many thanks for watching, and let me also say our newspaper analyst Ayodeji Adedapo is presently very down, and this is wishing him speedy recovery from the teen. Ayodeji, we can't not wait for you to be back on your feet. All right, viewers, this is where we ended today. Many thanks for watching. I'm Adenike Owoye Ajiboye,
and I'm Joel Wankego.
I'm Osagi Solomon Wilfred.
And from all of us, have a wonderful day. Bye.